Welcome to Bitcoin for Merchants, a Coin Academy original course designed to introduce you to the world of accepting Bitcoin as part of your business. There are 4 lesson plans in this course. The first one, this lesson, is called Why Accept Bitcoin. The second lesson is entitled Understanding the Risks. The third, How to Accept Bitcoin. And the final lesson is called Accounting, Tax, and Legalities. Let's go ahead and get started with Why Accept Bitcoin, in which we look at a variety of different reasons and advantages that relate to Bitcoin and why you might want to accept Bitcoin as part of your regular business transactions. First, let's take a look at some of the demographics. They are fairly compelling depending on the nature of your business. There was a study from the Massachusetts Division of Banks in 2014 that arrived at some interesting conclusions. First, they found that affluence plays a role in the propensity to use Bitcoin, with more than 70% of the people who earned over $100,000 a year being aware of Bitcoin. In contrast, those who earn less than $100,000 a year, less than half of them knew of Bitcoin. It's also fairly apparent that users of Bitcoin tend to be tech-savvy and well-educated. They are largely early adopters. So if the demographics and personality of early adopters matches your business or service, this is a logical place for you to be, whether you're a coffee shop or you're selling personal tech devices. In those situations, Bitcoin is liable to be a good channel for you and open up additional purchasing power. There are also new marketing channels that are unlocked by being part of the Bitcoin ecosystem. Bitcoin users tend to be quite active and social, and they tend to network quite a bit. It's the nature of the beast. This allows you to tap into Bitcoin lists, groups, and meetups. It also means that you can tap into some of the websites that provide maps listing businesses that accept Bitcoin. Some of the examples: spendbitcoins.com, wheretospendbitcoins.co.uk, and coinmap.org, the last one being a global service. As you can see from the screenshot that's apparent on the right-hand side right now, these will actually map out different locations and tell people about your business. So if someone's looking to spend Bitcoin, they can prefer your merchant over another merchant who only accepts fiat currency. For travel and tourism businesses, there's even a dedicated site, bitcoin.travel. Another reason why you might want to consider accepting Bitcoin is that it's extremely easy to accept settlement via mobile device. So, for example, if you're a maker or a craftsman who wants to sell things face-to-face outside of the office or the shop, you can take payment directly on your mobile device. Similarly, it's very easy to implement online. It means that Bitcoin is able to extend your reach beyond your physical location in a very simple fashion and with very, very low transaction costs. It's nowhere near as difficult as implementing a credit card payment system. We'll look at that later on in this course. And then another idea you may want to consider is that if you're concerned about Bitcoin price fluctuations, one alternative is to sell gift cards. Sell them for Bitcoin, but have them denominated in fixed US dollar or national currency prices. So whoever receives the gift card is able to purchase items at the face value of the gift card. So the cards are purchased in Bitcoin, but they're actually redeemed at national currency prices. Another powerful reason for accepting Bitcoin is the low transaction fees. If you're conducting manual transactions, that is, doing them yourself using your wallet, the fees range widely from free or nearly free, 0.01%, up to about 0.3%. It really depends on which wallet and whether you go through an intermediary. If you are using a premium or a point-of-sale service, you will find the fees are often more. Those services are out to make money, but they typically charge only about 0.6%. Again, there's variance here depending on the services that you take and who the provider is. But any way you look at it, this is much, much more attractive than the fees charged by credit card payment gateways and even by PayPal. Some point-of-sale services will levy additional fees if you use their hardware, if they have a dedicated POS terminal, or if you use their debit cards to get your money out of the system. But again, these are typically optional services, and you can make these decisions when you choose your vendor. The low fees also make taking deposits in Bitcoin very attractive, because if you have to issue a refund off that deposit, you're only going to incur nominal fees. And then the big one for a lot of people, particularly if you're in the food and beverage business, there are no chargebacks. Bitcoin transactions, when they're done, they're done. It's like handing cash to somebody. Chargebacks cost literally billions of dollars per year in the United States alone. So this is potentially a huge area for you. And if your business is a narrow margin business or susceptible to large amounts of chargebacks, Bitcoin's extremely attractive. One additional point we should mention here, and this is only going to apply to people at the extreme ends of the scale. If you're doing very high value transactions, one of the attractive parts of Bitcoin is that the transaction fee remains constant. That makes large transactions extremely predictable, and that makes them very affordable. In contrast, for the very first time, micropayments are now practical. These low transaction fees mean that if you want to charge, 10 cents every time somebody accesses a piece of content on your website, you can do that without being eaten up by the transaction fees. Many people predict that one of the big revolutions that will come out of Bitcoin is the rise of micropayment systems. Another advantage of Bitcoin is the transaction times. If you're not using a point of sale service, transactions settle with confidence in about 10 minutes. If you are using a point of sale service, many of them offer immediate settlement, so your transactions will settle within literally seconds. Now, it doesn't matter whether it's a local or an international sale. There's no difference. It doesn't matter what their national currency is, what your national currency is. It all settles at these speeds. That said, for large amounts, you may want to take a more conservative approach to settlement times. Now, that's actually a good segue for us into the second lesson, where we talk about understanding the risks. So if you would, please join us for Lesson 2. Thank you very much.